Pixel 10a has arrived, promising game-changing battery life and smarter AI for just $499. But with the same camera as last year, is it truly an honest upgrade? In this deep dive review, we'll find out if it's the right phone for you and tell you where to find it for the best price. If you want more honest tech reviews, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for what's next. Now, let's see if Google has done enough to keep the A-series crown. Design and build. Taking the 10a out of the box, I do have to say the design was great last year, and I still feel the same way in 2026. We have these matte aluminum rails made from 100% recycled material, by the way, and a matte back finish that still feels great. Having a phone with this full matte texture on it never gets old, and it always feels good to hold in the hand no matter what. Plus, it does a fantastic job resisting fingerprints, which I love to see. But the lack of a big camera bar or island is a choice that is incredibly underrated. Finally having no major camera bump, it's a truly surreal feeling. The phone sits perfectly flat on a desk, which fixes that little wobble from the 9a, and it just feels like this ultra-clean, ultra-minimal table ornament, if that makes any sense. It feels solid, well-built, and frankly, more premium than its $499 price. It's a tiny bit thicker than last year's model at 9mm, but it's also a hair shorter, narrower, and lighter at 183 grams, which makes it feel really balanced. But by far, one of the most underrated aspects is the durability upgrade. Google finally moved on from the incredibly old Gorilla Glass 3 on the 9a and gave the 10a Gorilla Glass 7i on the front. It's an actual tangible upgrade that feels much closer to the Victus glass on the flagship Pixels, giving you peace of mind for those accidental keys in pocket moments. The display. Moving on to the display as a whole, I really have no complaints here, outside of a somewhat aggressive auto brightness mode. On several occasions, the screen would dim way more than I'd like, and it makes me want to turn it off 100%, no questions asked. I'd just rather have full manual control instead of those jarring shifts. But otherwise, the 6.3-inch OLED panel is a clear step up. The biggest deal is the brightness. It gets a huge boost up to 3000 nits peak, which is the same as the flagship Pixel 10, by the way. In the real world, this just means the screen is super easy to see in direct sunlight. You're also getting 120 Hz, which looks great when zipping through the OS, although Google still leaves this disabled out of the box for some reason, so you have to go turn it on. The bezels are also noticeably thinner, which is a welcome change. At this point, I'd say they're small enough that we can finally stop complaining about them. Combined with the better glass and insane brightness, this isn't just a small bump, it's a genuinely great screen for the price. Now, what's under the hood is where things get interesting. The phone is powered by the Tensor G4, which is the exact same chip that was in last year's Pixel 9a. And look, on raw benchmarks, it still lags behind some competitors. This is not a phone that's going to win speed contests. Because of that, I find performance on the Pixel 10a is totally fine here. Everything from zipping through the operating system to browsing and watching videos feels perfectly snappy. The 8GB of RAM is fine for now, though I do worry about it for the long term. Where you'll feel the limits is heavy gaming. Call of Duty Mobile runs okay on medium settings, but you'll have to crank things down on a game like Genshin Impact to get a stable frame rate. But the real story with Tensor has always been about AI. This is the first A-series phone to get satellite SOS support thanks to the new Exynos 5400 modem. More importantly, that new modem brings improved cellular performance, a more consistent signal, which means the modem isn't working as hard, translating to better battery life. You also get all the AI software goodies like Circle to Search, which feels futuristic, and Call Assist for screening spam calls. So yeah, you're trading top-tier gaming speed for a suite of smart features you can't get anywhere else at this price. For most people, that's a trade they'll be happy to make. If you're finding this deep dive helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you want more honest tech reviews like this one, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's next. Now, let's get to the biggest promised upgrade, the battery. The battery, an epic upgrade. For years, battery life has been a pain point for the A-series. They were just fine. With the Pixel 10a, Google completely shattered that reputation. This isn't just an improvement, it's a game changer. The phone packs a 5100 mAh battery, the same size as the 9a, but thanks to the chip and modem efficiencies, the real-world results are super impressive. At this point, I'm averaging more than a full day with my usual mix of social media, web browsing, and way too many podcasts.
On lighter days, I actually squeezed 2 full days out of this, which is nice. This is the A-series phone we've been waiting for. It finally has the stamina to keep up. Charging also got a much-needed boost to 30-watt wired, up from 23 watts on the 9A. A quick 30-minute charge gives you a significant boost of power, which is a huge quality of life win. Wireless charging is up to 10 watts from 5 watts, which is a nice little bump. But the biggest letdown, by far, and I know you guys saw this coming, is the lack of Pixel Snap support. Honestly, Google should have moved mountains to make this work. This is one of the best $500 phones on the market, but missing out on magnetic accessories feels like such a massive loss. Normal people care about this stuff, and it just creates unnecessary friction that wouldn't be there if they just included the magnets from the jump. And now, the camera. Let's be clear, the rear camera hardware is identical to the Pixel 9a. It's a 48-megapixel main in a 13-megapixel ultrawide. It is by definition not an upgrade, and anyone coming from a 9a expecting better photos will be disappointed. That said, it's likely still the best camera you can get for under $500. You're gonna get those reliable, contrasty, pixel-like shots. I do think they tweaked the processing, as the 10A seems to have a bit of a warmer tone, which is something I noticed switching from the Pixel 9 to the Pixel 10. Otherwise, performance in daylight and even low light is great for the price, and it handles motion better than anything else in this range. The upgrade this year is all AI. You get a new camera coach to help with composition, an AI group photo features like Auto Best Take to fix blinking eyes, and Add Me to insert yourself into a shot. These are clever tricks, but they feel like a software problem to a hardware problem. For a newcomer, this is a very good camera, but for longtime fans, it marks a turning point. It's no longer the undisputed champ of the mid-range. It's competent and reliable, but it's no longer an automatic win. It's simply good enough. Price, competitors, and the verdict. At the end of the day, in isolation, the Pixel 10a is a great phone, no questions asked. But for $500, does that mean you should buy it? Honestly, to me, it strictly comes down to whatever deal you're gonna get. If you own a Pixel 9a, this is a tough upgrade, unless battery life is your main issue. The improvements there are massive, but the core experience will feel the same. However, if you're coming from an older Pixel or another brand, the 10a is a super compelling package. You get a premium build, a fantastic screen, and that game-changing battery life, plus software support until 2033. So, to answer the question from the start, is it an honest upgrade? Yes, but one that redefines the A-series. It's no longer just the camera phone for less. It's now the all-around reliable phone with incredible battery life and unique AI. The camera has taken a supporting role, while the battery takes center stage. Between the 9A and the 10A, buy whichever is cheaper. Or if you can find a base model Pixel 10 on sale, spend the extra bit for more RAM, the Tensor G4, and Pixel Snap. Whichever one of those three you can find at the best price will serve you well. For $500, the Pixel 10A is a good, albeit a bit boring of a device. That said, let me know what you think in the comments below. What improvements would you have liked to see? This has been Jordan Floyd with 9 to 5 Google. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.